Blood on the throne. The crown is paid in sacrifice. Everything I built was carved from struggle. Cold and ice. They gave me nothing, so I forged it from the stone alone. Blood on the throne. This is how a king comes home. See, the story of my life reads like a war report. Every chapter filled with battles that the faint of heart abort. I was born into a world that had already made its mind about the value of a young man left so far behind. See, they drew the lines in red before I drew my first real breath. Wrote the ending of my story somewhere between birth and death, but the ending is still mine to write, and I refuse they script. Every time they tried to bury me, I rose up from the crypt. I remember 14 years old, watching kingdoms fall apart, watching brothers choose the trigger over choosing with the heart, watching mothers learn to grieve in ways no mother ever should, watching promise die on corners in the middle of the hood. But I saw something in the wreckage that the cynics couldn't see, that the strongest thing a broken man could do was to be free. Free from every chain they welded while he slept and while he prayed. Free from every lie they whispered while the foundation frayed. Blood on the throne, but I'm still standing in the rain. Every scar upon my body is a monument to pain. But the pain became a ladder, and the ladder led me here to the mountaintop of purpose, where the vision becomes clear. I was built for this moment in the furnace of the street. Every hand they raised against me only pushed me to complete what the Lord wrote in my bloodline. Generations back in time. Blood on the throne. The crown was always mine. Yeah. 20 years of moving through a system built to grind. Every door I kicked wide open was one close to my kind. Tell me what the cost of dignity is on the open market when they put a price on freedom and your soul becomes the target. I've been handcuffed on the pavement while the guilty walked away. I've been counted out on Tuesday when I back up on Wednesday. See, the fire in my spirit doesn't bow to circumstance. Every time they closed the curtain, I came back and made them dance. I don't glorify the darkness, but I testify it's real. When the midnight comes for everything you thought that you could feel, when the prayers seem unanswered, then the silence answers back. When the only thing you want is what they couldn't take a crack. I survived the coldest winters with no coat to warm my frame. Told myself that spring was coming and I held on to that claim. Now I stand inside the sunlight that I used to just imagine. Blood on the throne, but finally the story's past the damage. Blood on the throne, the crown is paid in sacrifice. Everything I built was carved from struggle. Cold and ice, they gave me nothing, so I forged it from the stone alone. Blood on the throne. This is how a king comes. Let me speak to every soldier who was standing at the edge, who was giving everything they had to honor every pledge that they made to all the people they were fighting to protect. To the children and the mothers who were owed some more respect. See, a king is not determined by the palace that he owns. It's the wisdom in the choices and the fire in his bones. It's the way he treats the smallest one who comes before his gate. It's the truth he speaks regardless when the truth is hard and great. I have fallen more than 20 times, I've risen every one. I have watched the moon go dark before I saw the morning sun. Every valley that I traveled made the mountaintop more real. Every wound I ever carried had a lesson I could feel. So I wear the scars like armor now and stand inside my truth. Blood on the throne is just a testimony and the proof that a man who came from nothing and refused to be denied built the kingdom from the ruins with his dignity inside. Blood on the throne, but I'm still standing in the rain. Every scar upon my body is a monument to pain. The pain became a ladder and the ladder led me here to the mountaintop of purpose where the vision becomes clear. I was built for this moment in the furnace of the street. Every hand they raised against me only pushed me to complete what the Lord wrote in my bloodline. Generations back in time. Blood on the throne. The crown was always mine. They tried to write my ending, but I wrote my own beginning. Blood on the throne. The king is still here. We were born in the eye of the storm, raised where the thunder never stops. This is for the children who survive. Yeah. Yeah. Every generation inherits the wounds of the one before. From the cotton fields to the corner store, the battle keeps the score. I was born in a city that was burning at the seams, where the playgrounds held the funerals and the gutters held the dreams. Watch my uncle age a decade every year inside the pen. Watch my cousin get his mind broken, never come back again. Watch my mama hold 3 jobs while she held us through the night. Watch my neighborhood keep fighting just to hold on to the light. But through every crack in every sidewalk, something green kept pushing through, like the spirit of the children who refuse to misconstrue the identity that poverty and violence tried to brand. Cause a storm can't break a family with God's truth in hand. We were more than what they label, more than numbers, more than stats, more than every ugly headline with the blame laid on our backs. Children of the storm, we were built to survive. Every lightning bolt that hit us kept the fire alive. Through the rain and through the flooding and the cold and the despair. Children of the storm, tell me who was even there when the system turned the shoulder and the cameras turned away, when the bodies filled the morgue zone. Just another Tuesday, we kept breathing, kept believing in the morning past the night. Children of the storm, we were born to find the light. Let me talk about the teachers who showed up every day to the underfunded classrooms where the ceiling tiles gave way, who spent their own last 20 on the pencils in the books, who saw potential in the faces that the system overlooked, and the coaches who stayed after, and the pastors who kept praying, and the grandmothers who planted while the neighborhood was fraying. See, the institution failed us, but the people never did. Every village has its elders, and every elder has its kid that they pour themselves into. Like the future's worth the cost, like the next one might be great enough to reclaim what was lost. I've been speaking to these young ones and I see the fire there behind the hardened expressions and the weight of too much care. They just need somebody showing them that greatness is their right, not the ceiling they were given, but the ceiling of their might. Children of the storm, we don't run from the rain. Every scar we carry forward is a testament to gain. They tried to make us symbols of a system's greatest fail. Children of the storm, we turn the wound into a tale. One day I wanna walk these blocks and see no empty lots, no boarded windows, no police tape, no connecting all the dots between the zip code and the outcome and the color and the fate. Wanna walk beside my children without checking what is late. Want the schools to have the funding that the suburbs take for granted. Want the seeds of every young mind to be properly planted. Want the mothers in this neighborhood to sleep without the fear that the knock upon the door at night is something they should dread to hear. I ain't asking for perfection, I'm just asking to be seen as a human with a purpose and a future and a dream. See, the children of the storm deserve the same as any other. Every child in this nation is somebody's son or daughter. So I speak until the speaking changes something in the air. Children of the storm, we were always worth the care. Children of the storm, we were built to survive. Every lightning bolt that hit us kept the fire alive. Through the rain and through the flooding and the cold and the despair. Children of the storm, tell me who was even there when the system turned the shoulder and the cameras turned away, when the bodies filled the morgue zone. Just another Tuesday, we kept breathing, kept believing in the morning past the night. Children of the storm, we were born to find the light. Ooh, we survived the storm. Yeah. We built our own shelter. Children rise. The sun is coming. I light this candle for the ones who didn't make it back, for every name engraved on walls and every soul on the track that led to somewhere we couldn't follow. This prayer is for you. I carry all your names inside me like a sacred weight. Every memory you land and pushing back against the fate that took you from the living while the living carried on. Still hearing your laughter in the silence when you're gone. You left me standing in the doorway of a house we shared, with all your things untouched, because I wasn't yet prepared to fold the chapter that we wrote together line by line, to say the final goodbye to a life that touched mine. See, grief is not a weakness, it's the price of loving deep. It's the evidence of everything you promised you would keep, and I keep promising your memory, your voice inside my song. So as long as I keep breathing, you were never really gone. I speak your name in every prayer I lay against the floor. Ask the Lord to keep your spirit at a peace beyond the war. This is my prayer for the fallen. Rest easy now. You carry more than any soul should carry. Take your bow. In another world somewhere, I know you're finally free. This prayer for the fallen. This prayer, this prayer is for thee. Every candle that I light is one more beacon in the dark. Every song that bears your memory is a monument of heart. You were taken far too early, but you gave so much to give. This prayer for the fallen. You are always living. Marcus had a son who has his father's exact eyes, and when I see that little boy, I see the gift beneath the lies of a system that said fathers like his kind were built to fall. That the concrete was the ceiling and the gutter was the hall. But that boy is gonna know his father's legacy in full. I will teach him every lesson till the spirit starts to pull from the grave into the present. Let the dead still guide the young. Let the prayers we live for fallen be the words upon our tongue. Darnell had a notebook full of music he composed, songs about a future that the bullet never showed. I've been singing some of his lines when nobody's listening near, cause the least I owe a dead man is to keep his dreams sincere. They were more than how they died, they were more than what was lost. They were fire in the living, and the living bears the cause. This is my prayer for the fallen. Rest easy now. You carry more than any soul should carry. Take your bow. In another world somewhere, I know you're finally free. This prayer for the fallen. This prayer is for thee. Every candle that I light is one more beacon in the dark. Every song that bears your memory is a monument of heart. You were taken far too early, but you gave so much to give. This prayer for the fallen. In you I always live. I won't forget you. I won't let time erase the truth of who you were before the ending of everything we knew in you. You were real, you were loved, you were more than what they said. A prayer for the living is a prayer for our dead. Gone but never silent, your voice still calls. In every empty hallway and in every empty hall, I carry your name like a torch through the night. Prayer for the fallen, forever in the light. One day I stand before whatever waits beyond this place, and I look into the eyes of every spirit face to face. Every brother, every sister, every soldier that I knew, and I tell them that I kept the fire burning through and through. That I spoke their names in rooms where people needed to be moved. That I used the pain of losing them as something to be proved. That their lives had meaning past the moment they were taken from. That the love they left behind was never left to go and numb. So until that day arrives, I keep on doing what I do, turning grief to gospel, turning sorrow into true. Every prayer I lift at midnight is a bridge across the years. Prayer for the fallen. May God catch all of their tears. This is my prayer for the fallen. Oh, rest easy now. You carry more than any soul should carry. Take your bow. Hey. Another world somewhere, I know you're finally free. This prayer for the fallen. This prayer, oh, this prayer is for thee. Every candle that I light is one more beacon in the dark. Every song that bears your memory is a monument of heart. You were taken far too early, but you gave so much to give. This prayer for the fallen. In you I always live. Rest in peace to all the fallen. Your names live in our hearts. Carry you forward until the end of our days. Steel in my veins, steel in my veins. It's the soldier's fate, yeah. Steel in my veins, ice in my eyes. Born in the fire where the weak ones die. I don't negotiate with fear, I don't bend to hate. Steel in my veins, that's the soldier's fate. Come at me with everything you got and see what happens then. I've been standing in the battleground since God knows when. Every man who tried to break me only made me more precise. Every obstacle they placed in front of me became my sacrifice. And the fuel into the engine that keeps grinding every day. You think pressure stops a warrior, get out of my way. I was forged in circumstances that would break a lesser man. Built from contradictions and a barely held together plan. Every scar on every knuckle tells a story of a fight. every callus on my hands tells of the working through the night. See, I don't mistake the struggle for a sign that God forgot. I mistake it for the furnace that'll prove what I've got. Come with your opinions, come with your doubt and your disgust. I was built from something harder than what you can turn to dust. They said I wouldn't make it past the year, they counted me out. They said the fire in my spirit would extinguish to a doubt. But every time they swung their hammer down upon my spine, I came back harder, sharper, more defined along the line. Still in my veins. You can't bend what's built to last. I'm the product of the future, living through the painful past. Every enemy who rose against me only sharpen what I am. Still in my veins, I am the thunder and the rain. Yeah. See, I know what you were thinking when you looked me up and down, when you calculated chances that I'd ever leave this town, when you wrote your little notes about the odds inside your chart. You forgot to calculate the iron in my heart. I've been underestimated since before my voice dropped low, since the teachers wrote the comments about the places I'd not go. But I use that fuel magnificently to power every step, and I'm still here standing tall with no apology or regret. You can bring your institutions and your systems to the floor. I've seen worse and I kept moving, so come show me something more. See, a man who's been through fire doesn't flinch at paper flames, doesn't bow to empty pressure, doesn't play your little games. I move in silence, building more than your small mind can see. Still in my veins, that's the version God made me. Still in my veins, ice in my eye. Born in the fire where the weak ones die. I don't negotiate with fear, I don't bend the hate. Still in my veins, that's the soldier's fate. Let me be transparent for a moment, past the armor in the wall. I am human underneath the strength, I've had my share of falls. I have questioned in the darkest whether any of this mattered. I have held myself together when the whole foundation shattered. But there's something in the marrow, something deep below the bone that keeps reassembling every piece until it's something whole. Call it God, call it spirit, call it everything you've learned from the school of hard knocks, where the best lessons are earned. I don't carry steel to frighten or to threaten or to boast. I carry it because the ones I love need me the most. Need me standing when the storm goes, need me solid at the base, need me keeping all the walls up in this unforgiving place. So the skill in me is not for war, it's for the ones I guard. It's the love I turn to iron, cause the world outside is hard. They said I wouldn't make it past the year, they counted me out. They said the fire in my spirit would extinguish to a doubt. But every time they swung their hammer down upon my spine, I came back harder, sharper, more defined along the line. Still in my veins, you can't bend what's built to last. I'm the product of the future, living through the painful past. Every enemy who rose against me only sharpen what I am. Still in my veins, I am the thunder and the rain. Still never rust when it's temporary. I was built for the long fight, unbreakable, unapologetic. Still in my veins. Still in my veins. Yeah. Testament sworn, testament sealed. Street testament, sworn. Testament sworn, testament sworn. Yeah, this is my street testament, written in the blood of the real. Every word is sworn, affidavit of everything I feel. Grew up where the only honest men were ones who've been to jail, where the politicians smile wide and let the children fail. I seen things at 8 years old that closed the chapter in my mind, forced me to grow armor that I've never left behind. But the armor doesn't mean that I don't feel the morning cold, doesn't mean the weight don't press me or the nights don't take their toll. This is not a brag session, this is not a flexing game. This is documentation of the fire and the flame that burned inside the neighborhood they wrote off long ago, where the ivy never grew but something real still learned to grow. This is my street testament, I swear it on my soul. Every word a living witness to the story no one told. Judge me when you walked it, speak when you were blessed. Till then, read my testament and hear what I have said. Street testament, signed and sacrificing time. Street testament, every verse a measure crime against the silence that they counted on to keep our truth unknown. Street Testament, this foundation I have built. Chapter 2 begins at 15 with a hunger and a dream, a notebook and a borrowed pen and nothing in between me and everything I wanted. While the distance felt like years, every summer turning hotter in the winter cold with fears. But I kept on writing verses when the writing was the rope that I used to pull myself above the surface of the smoke, above the haze of what they told me was the height of my ambition, above the low ceiling they constructed for my disposition. See, the testament is also about choices made in dark, about the ones I'm not too proud of etched inside my heart, about the corner I almost chose before the pen chose me, about the version of myself that very nearly ceased to be, but guided other plans and the pen became my weapon, and then the notebook became scripture, and the rhyme became my lesson. This is my street testament. I swear it on my soul. Every word a living witness. Yeah. To the story no one told. Judge me when you walked it, speak when you would bled. Till then, read my testament and hear what I have said. Street testament. Sign and sacrifice in time. Street testament. Every verse a measured crime. But just the silence that they counted on to keep our truth unknown. Street testament. This foundation I have built. Chapter 3 is about manhood and the weight that comes with it. About the times I failed, the ones I loved and had to sit with the consequence of choices in the mirror, showing truth about growing into something past the arrogance of youth. See a man ain't built from muscle, up from money, up from fear. A man is built from what he does when no one else is near. When the camera's on watching and the accolades are gone. When it's just you and your conscience in the quiet before dawn. Do you live the things you preach or do you preach to fill the space? Do you treat the ones around you with the dignity and grace that you demand from others while you rarely give the same? I've been asking these hard questions cause I'm tired of the game. Street testament, no edits and no lies. Every chapter what I live beneath these open skies. This is the uncut version of a life that's still in progress. Street testament, I write until the whole truth confess. Yeah, final chapter for the day. Though the story's never done, I got miles left to cover underneath this western sun. I got children looking up at me and counting every step, and the legacy I leave them is a debt I won't forget. So I write the testament to show them where their father stood. Stood for truth, stood for family, stood for something understood. There's more than a transaction or a hustle or a name. Stood for something worth the living, worth the dying. In the flame they can carve this on my headstone when my time is coming past. He wrote the street testament and he wrote it built to last. Every verse a brick of truth that holds the future up. Every rhyme a drop of water filling more than just one cup. This is my street testament. I swear it on my soul. Every word a living witness. To the story no one told. Judge me when you walked it, speak when you were blessed. Till then, read my testament and hear what I have said. Street testament, sign and sacrifice in time. Street testament, every verse a measured crime. It's the silence that they counted on to keep our truth unknown. Street testament, this foundation I have built alone. Testament sworn, testament sealed. Street truth revealed. This is real. This is real. I used to hide them under long sleeves, behind hard looks. Now I let them show. Beautiful scars, each one a chapter. Beautiful scars on the hands of a fighter. Every mark of memory that make the spirit brighter. I don't wear them out of shame, I wear them out of pride. Beautiful scars on the outside match the ones I keep inside. Yeah, see, I spent a decade trying hard to hide what I had been. Couldn't look into the mirror without seeing where I sinned. Wore the mask of every version of myself that felt approved. So the mask became the burden and my real self had to move out from underneath the weight of what the world expected there. Out from underneath the silence and the posture and the stare that I gave to every stranger who I thought might see the cracks in the wall I built so carefully to cover all the tracks. But the tracks were there regardless, and the tracks were who I am. Every stumble, every failure, every temporary dam that I built to hold the river back became a source of shame. So one day I just released it in the river, spoke my name, said that everything I suffered was not wasted, it was use, not the mark of weakness on me, but the evidence of truth. These beautiful scars, they tell the story of a man who was broken more than once and still came back to stand. Who fought the darkness without armor, fought the storm without a shield. Who lay bleeding in the valley and refused to never yield. Beautiful scars don't belong to those who never tried. They belong to every soldier who survived what should have died. I don't want a life unmarked. I don't want a path that's clean. Beautiful scars are the proof of everything I've been. Let me tell you about the morning that I almost didn't wake. When the weight of everything had built them more than I could take. When the press felt like they echoed off a ceiling made of stone. When the 3 a.m. would find me in the dark and cold alone. That was the scar that changed me more than any I know. Cause it broke me to a level where the real could finally show. Real humility, real need for something greater than myself. Real acknowledgement that I pushed my spirit past itself. And when I came back from that valley, I came back with open hands. Not the cliche of the fighter, but the reaching of a man who discovered that the bravest thing a person ever does is admit when they are broken and accept the love that was. Always waiting in the people, in the places, in the prayers. Beautiful scars teach you gratitude for everything that cares. Beautiful scars on the hands of a fighter. Every mark of memory that made the spirit brighter. I don't wear them out of shame, I wear them out of pride. Beautiful scars on the outside, match the ones I keep inside. So I'm showing you my scars today. In every line I write, not for sympathy or pity, but to help another fight through whatever dark they're standing in, whatever shame they wear. Thinking that the marks that carry mean that nobody could care. But the most magnetic people are the ones who bled and healed, who had something real to offer, cause their story has been real. I don't want the polished version with the edited out pain. I want the full unfiltered human standing in the rain. Scars and all the perfect, honest, willing to be seen. That's the person I've been building underneath the in-between. Now I look into the mirror and I smile at what I see. Beautiful scars and all, that's the truest form of me. These beautiful scars, they tell the story of a man who was broken more than once and still came back to stand. Who fought the darkness without armor, fought the storm without a shield. Who lay bleeding in the valley and refused to never yield. Beautiful scars don't belong to those who never tried. They belong to every soldier who survived what should have died. I don't want a life unmarked. I don't want a path that's clean. Beautiful scars are the proof of everything I've been. Show your scars. Wear them with your head held high. They are the proof that you chose to survive. Yeah, to the very final day. Brothers for life, to the very final day. Yeah. Yeah. Been riding through these streets since before I knew the cost. Counting every dollar that I earned against the ones I lost. Me and Marcus had a bond forged in a different kind of school, where the lesson plan was survival, and the teacher was the crew. Reality of being young and black and overlooked, where your story gets reduced to just another number in the book. But we refused that narrative and built our own instead. Let the world keep writing endings, we kept going past the dead. Cause loyalty ain't common, it's a currency more rare than any dollar bill they printed. It's the proof that someone cares. Ride with me through the dark nights and the long roads. Ride with me, ride with me. When the burden's more than one man's load, I got you on my left side, you got me on my right. Ride with me. standing back to back till everything is done. Loyalty is louder than the words that people say. Ride with me to the very final. I remember when they came for you at 2 a.m. that night, when the flashing lights surrounded everything and nothing felt right. I was standing at the corner when they took you in the car. Couldn't sleep for 2 whole weeks, just staring at that scar on the pavement where they slammed you for a crime you didn't do. Where the system did what systems do to people just like you. But you came back standing taller than before they took you in. Cause a man who knows his truth can never fully let him win. And I was there today, you walked out with your head held high, 2 fingers to the system and a fire in your eye. Let me speak on what this brotherhood has meant to me over time. Every verse he wrote for freedom had my situation in mind. When the world was at its coldest and the doors were closing fast, he was there reminding me that victories are built to last. See, I come from where the options are as narrow as the block, where a wrong turn in 19 can stop your whole clock. But he showed me through example that the pen outlast the steel, that the story you were building is the only thing that's real. So I ride for him like he wrote for me through the years. Turn the laughter into strength and turn the anger into gears. Ride with me through the dark nights and the long roads. Ride with me, ride with me. When the burden's more than one man's load, I got you on my left side, you got me on my right. Ride with me. Together we survive this fight. Through the valleys, through the mountain, through the rain and the sun. 2 soldiers standing back to back till everything is done. Loyalty is louder than the words that people say. Ride with me till the very final day. Real loyalty, never ask for proof. Real loyalty shows up on the roof when the whole house is burning and the exit's hard to find. Real loyalty, yeah, it's riding even when it got your mind. Now we older and we wise and we carry different weight, building families and futures while we navigate the fate that was handed to us early in the city full of stones. But we built our own foundation out of sacrifice and bones. See the bond between 2 soldiers who were bled the same terrain is a thing that time can't weather and that politics can't stain. You can doubt the institutions, you can doubt the ones in power, but the man who stood beside me in my darkest desperate hour is the truest form of gospel I have ever come to know. Ride with me, Marcus Cole, we got further yet to go. Ride with me through the dark nights and the long roads. Ride with me, ride with me. When the burden's more than one man's load, I got you on my left side, you got me on my right. Ride with me. Together we survive this fight. Through the valleys, through the mountains, through the rain and the sun. 2 soldiers standing back to back till everything is done. Loyalty is louder than the words that people say. Ride with me to the very final day. Brothers for life. No distance, no time can break what was built in the fire of the grind. They counted me out before I ever said a word. Let them count. I'm still here. Yeah. 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 Tell me every reason why a man like me should fall. I've been listening since childhood to the voices down the hall, saying I was nothing, saying I would never be more than what the system planned when it was planning men like me. But I took each word they handed me and turned it into weight, training for a future that they thought I couldn't make. 27 rejections and I counted every one, framed them on the wall to fuel me as I rose to see the sun. See, defeat is just a data point, it's not a destination. It's the temporary weather in the storm of transformation. Every no I ever heard became a lesson in my voice. Every door they kept closed showed me I was building my own choice. So when they gathered in the corner saying failure was my name, I was in the quiet building something bigger than their game. Unbroken, that's how I stand today. Every force that tried to fold me only pushed me to the fray. They swung with everything they had and I absorbed it all. Unbroken is the only way I know to face the fall. You can bend the branches in the storm, but the roots hold deep. You can take away my rest, but you can't take away the sleep. From the peace inside the knowing that I gave my absolute unbroken. From the branches to the deepest root. Somewhere around the age of 30, everything compressed into one defining moment that became the ultimate test. Lost the job, the apartment, in the future in 1 week. Had to call my mama just to find a place to sleep. Humbled in a way that broke the pride I carried long. Realized that being strong didn't mean I was never wrong. That the walls I built for safety had become a kind of cage, keeping love and help outside while feeding all my rage. But the breaking was a blessing, though I couldn't see it then, cause it cleared the ground completely and I started up again. Not with the same blueprints, but with something clean and drawn, built on who I actually was, not who I faked for long. And in that humble place, the real foundation found its ground. Not the version built on ego, but the truth I finally found. Unbroken doesn't mean untouched by pain. Unbroken means you rise up every time again. Unbroken is the spirit when the body wants to quit. Unbroken, I refuse to let them have this. Now look at everything they thought would be my ruin, and I see it was the training ground for everything I'm doing. Every cruel word, every closed door, every graceless fall. Added one more brick of character inside the standing wall. I don't hold a grudge against the people who doubted me. I just use their doubt as fuel and let the record speak. Let the years of output be the only argument I need, cause a man who keeps on building doesn't need to plant the seed of resentment in the garden where his future tries to grow. Let the work be loud, the character be slow and showing. So I walk into each morning with the gratitude of one who was broken more than once and still somehow found the sun. Every scar has taught me something I could not have learned elsewhere. Every rock bottom moment stripped me down to what was bare, and what was bare was worth rebuilding, worth investing, worth the fight. Unbroken through the darkest darkness, standing in the light. Unbroken, unbroken, that's how I stand today. Every force that tried to fold me only pushed me to the fray. It's one with everything they had, and I absorbed it all. Unbroken is the only way I know to face the fall. You can bend the branches in the storm, but the roots hold deep. You can take away my rest, but you can't take away the sleep. From the peace inside the knowing that I gave my absolute. Unbroken, from the branches to the deepest root. Still standing, still breathing, still building, still reaching. Unbroken, and I always will be. Angels in the fall, I can feel them when I walk at night, guiding every step when I can't see the path of light. They were sent to keep me standing when the world tries to break. Angels in the fall, watching over every mistake. 3 in the morning in the city's at its coldest hour, when the demons walk familiar and the walls begin to tower. I've been fighting something nameless since before I found the words. Something that the daylight hides, but darkness always stirs. But I feel them in the stillness right before the breakdown hits, like a hand upon my shoulder pulling back from off the cliffs that the mind can manufacture when the soul is wearing thin, and the weight of being human almost swallows you within. See, I've stood at enough edges to believe in something more than coincidence protecting me behind each closing door. There are forces I can't measure moving quietly around, keeping broken men from shattering completely on the ground. I don't need the congregation, I don't need the Sunday choir, I just need the quiet knowing of the angels in the fire. There's a grace that moves through darkness we don't always see. There's a hand that holds the broken when they're too broken to be free. I've been touched by something holy in the worst of all my nights. Angels in the fall, turn darkness into light. They don't come with announcements, they don't come with golden rings. They come quiet in the moments when the silence starts to sing. When you're right about to give up and you find you cannot fall. Angels in the fall, the most invisible of all. Yeah. Lost my homeboy in October on a cold and moonless street, and I stood outside the hospital where they told me he was beat by the violence of a city that was eating its own kind. And I screamed into the parking lot to God to give me signs that the suffering was purposeful, that some would pass the pain. There was meaning in the madness, in the sun behind the rain. In that parking lot I felt it like it coming through my chest, something wrapping up the sorrow, pressing calm against the rest. Like your spirit, say your peace now and don't drown yourself in this. Like the love we shared together was too real to just dismiss. into nothing, into absence, into silence, in the void. Cause the ones we love don't vanish, they just change the way they're deployed. And everything around us and everything we sense. Angels in the fog, the love that's past the present tense. Angels in the fog, I can feel them when I walk at night. Guiding every step when I can't see the path of light. They were sent to keep me standing when the world tries to break. Oh, angels in the fall, watching over every mistake. So I move through every morning with a gratitude that's earned. Not the kind that comes from comfort, but the kind of broken learned. When they stood at the edge of nothing, it felt something pulled them back. When the universe said not yet and got them back on track. I believe in more than systems, I believe in more than chance. I believe in something sacred that was present in my stance. On the worst night of my journey when I almost wasn't here, something ancient, something gentle kept me breathing through the fear. Call it God, call it angels, call it grace, or call it love. Call it every fallen soldier sending blessing from above. Whatever name you give, it doesn't matter in the end. What matters is I'm standing in the fog, became a friend. There's a grace that moves through darkness we don't always see. There's a hand that holds the broken when they're too broken to be free. I've been touched by something holy in the worst of all my nights. Angels in the fall, turning darkness into light. They don't come with announcements, they don't come with golden wings. They come quiet in the moments when the silence starts to sing. When you're right about to give up and you find you cannot fall. Angels in the fall, the most invisible of all. I feel them near in the quiet of the night. Angels in the fall, guiding me to the light. There is a place inside the storm that nothing touches. The quiet at the center of the chaos. I found it in the strangest hour, standing on sacred ground. See, the world can strip a man of almost everything he owns. Can take the title in the house and leave him standing cold alone. Yeah. Can remove the reputation and the comfort in the name. Can reduce a throne to ashes and an empire to a flame. Yeah, but there's one thing that no power in this universe can take, and that's the sacred ground inside you that was built before the break, before the fear, before the systems, before language gave it shape. It's the truest form of being and the one thing that escapes every definition, every box they try to build around. The immovable foundation at the center that they found when they cut the deepest into every man who wouldn't bend. Sacred ground is where the warrior returns to once again. I've been standing on that ground when everything above was gone. It's the reason I kept breathing when the reason was long wrong. Sacred ground beneath my feet, no matter where I stand. It was there before they found me. It was built into the plan. When the floods came and the fire came and everything was stripped, the ground beneath my spirit was the last thing that they cleared. Sacred ground. Call it purpose, call it soul. Call it everything that keeps a broken man still whole. They can take the roof, the walls, the floor, but never what is under. Sacred ground. The silence deeper than the thunder. I discovered this foundation in the lowest of my lows, when the surface had been stripped away and only bedrock shows. When you're not pretending anymore and not performing for the crowd, when the quiet after breaking is the only thing that's loud. See, the stripping was a gift dressed in the cruelest kind of pain, like the field must die in winter to receive the spring's refrain. And in the stillness of that winter with no harvest and no crop, I found the thing that kept me going, that can never fully stop. A deep unshakable commitment to the truth of who I am, past the titles, past the status, past the program program and the plan. Just a man who came from somewhere and was heading somewhere real, with a heart that kept on beating and the spirit built the field. Sacred ground is what I stand on when I kneel to pray at night, when I'm asking for the vision and the courage for the fight. Sacred ground beneath my feet. No matter where I stand, it was there before they found me. It was built into the plan. When the floods came and the fire came and everything was stripped, the ground beneath my spirit was the last thing that they clipped. Sacred ground. Call it purpose, call it soul, call it everything that keeps a broken man still whole. They can take the roof, the walls, the floor, but never what is under. Sacred ground. The silence deeper than the thunder. When you've lost everything you think you are, when the mirror shows a stranger in the dark, go deeper past the surface, past the name. The sacred ground is still the same. It was there before the world began to shape you. It will be there when the world has tried to break you. Stand still and feel the ground beneath your feet. Sacred ground, the place where souls complete. Sacred ground. I stand here now. Sacred ground. It shows me how to rise above the storm and trust the flow. Sacred ground is what I'm living for. So when they come to shake your confidence and rattle your resolve, when the problems stack so heavy that they look hard to solve, when the voices all say quit and the weather won't relent, when you've given more than you thought possible and still feel spent, plant your feet and feel the ground below. It hasn't moved. It was laid before the obstacle and it will be here proved. Past the other side of everything they're throwing at you now. Sacred ground is why the warrior survives and takes the bow. Not the bow when it defeated, but the bow with the endured, of the man who went through fire and came back with something cured from the doubt and from the fractures and the questions without answers. Sacred ground is what is built on every prayer and every chapter. No matter where I stand, no matter what was there before they found me, it was built into the plan. When the floods came and the fire came and everything was stripped, the ground beneath my spirit was the last thing that they clipped. Oh, sacred ground. Call it purpose, call it soul, call it everything that keeps a broken man still whole. They can take the roof, the walls, the floor, but never what is under. Sacred ground. The silence deeper than the thunder. Stand still. Feel the ground beneath you. It never moves. Sacred ground. Always here. Stand still. Yeah. Peace don't come for free. It cost everything. Yeah. And it's worth it all. Every single day. Yeah. Peace don't come for free in the world built on war. You gotta fight for every quiet moment right down to the core. I've been searching for the stillness since before I learned the word. In a household where the silence was the scariest thing heard, where the arguments came sudden like the weather with no warning, and the child learns to read the room before he greets the morning. So I built walls early, practical and clean. Walls to keep the chaos from eroding my routine, but walls keep out the good things just as well as they keep bad. And the peace I was protecting started being something sad, cause a man who walls himself inside a fortress all alone finds the silence he was seeking, feels a lot like being stoned. The price of peace I'm learning is the willingness to feel every beautiful and brutal thing that makes a life feel real. The price of peace ain't comfort, and it ain't the absence of the war. No. It's the hard work of the healing and the opening of the door to the parts of you that suffer, and the parts that need the light. Price of peace is doing the work morning, noon, and night. It's forgiving what is unforgivable for your own sake. It's releasing what you're holding even when it hurts to break. Price of peace is not the ending, it's a practice every day. The price of peace, you have to choose to pay the pain. Politics been selling us a piece that they can't give, built on checkbooks and on speeches, while our neighborhoods can't live without the basic infrastructure that they promised every term. Every election season plants a seed they never let us learn to harvest into something real, into something we can hold, into safety, into healthcare, into futures to be told. all. To the children in the classrooms who deserve a fighting chance, not just token representation in the system's broken dance. I've been voting, I've been marching, I've been speaking to the walls. I've been watching change come slowly while the pressure always falls on the ones who Achilles carry, get the ones at the bottom rungs who were gasping for the oxygen they never had in lungs. The price of peace in this society is justice being real. Not the justice of the powerful, but the justice all can feel. The price of peace ain't comfort, and it ain't the absence of the war. It's the hard work of the healing and the opening of the door. To the parts of you that suffer and the parts that need the light. Price of peace is doing the work morning, noon, and night. It's forgiving what is unforgivable for your own sake. It's releasing what you're holding even when it hurts to break. Price of peace is not the end and it's a practice every day. The price of peace, yeah, you have to choose to pay. On a personal level, let me talk about the internal. The demons that I wrestle with that hours when eternal feels the furthest from the surface and the doubt is loud as near. Let me talk about the anger I've been sitting with for years. At a world that never looked at me and said you are enough. At a life that keeps on teaching through the medium of tough. At the men who came before me who were never given tools to translate all their trauma into something past the rules of just survival, just endurance, just to making through the day. I've been doing therapy and sitting with it all and pray that the generation coming after me can carry less, can inherit the equanimity without inheriting the stress. The price of peace is the hardest currency of all. It's the lifetime of the choosing. Every time you start to fall, price of peace, I pay it daily at the door. Price of peace, I'm worth the fighting for. Every morning is a choice to not be ruled by yesterday. The price of peace, I choose to pay. Yeah. Let me close this chapter talking to the ones who haven't found it, who are living in the noise and feel completely surrounded by the chaos and the pressure and the weight of being seen by a world that judges harshly in the mirror in between. Peace is not a destination that you're reaching and you're done. It's the practice of the morning and the setting of the sun. It's the breath before the answer and the space before the choice. It's the knowing of your value in the center of the noise. You deserve the peace you're fighting for. It's not beyond your reach. Every stumble in the process is a lesson it will teach. I'm still learning, still unfolding, still becoming every day. The price of peace is everything, and I keep choosing to pay. The price of peace ain't comfort, and it ain't the absence of the war. It's the hard work of the healing and the opening of the door. To the parts of you that suffer and the parts that need the light. Price of peace is doing the work morning, noon, and night. It's forgiving what is unforgivable for your own sake. It's releasing what you're holding even when it hurts to break. Price of peace is not the end and it's a practice every day. The price of peace, you have to choose to pay. Choose peace, it costs everything, and it's worth it all. Every single day.
This one's for the women who held everything together while the world kept falling apart.
Diamond Rose.
This is your song.
Loyalty is a woman who stays when the night gets cold.
Yeah.
Loyalty is a story that they never fully told.
About the ones behind the warrior
Who kept the home in place.
Loyalty, yeah.
Diamond Rose. You are the definition of grace.
I've been thinking about the ones who never made the front page story, who were holding up the pillars in the background of the glory. Every man who ever made it had a woman in his corner, who believed before the morning, who stayed through every morning, who could see the vision when he couldn't see the mirror, who spoke softly to the field when it was standing closer, clearer. See, I watched my grandmother run a family of 12, with a pension and a prayer and the books upon the shelf about dignity and grace and what a woman is and does. Not what the world defines, but what her own heart says she was. She was everything the system tried to say she couldn't be. Diamond Rose, I see a spirit living on in thee.
Let me speak on what it means to hold the ground when ground is shaking. Let me speak on what it cost the ones ones who give without the taking. I've been standing at the altar of a love that don't come easy, at the crossroads of the noble, in the moments when it's breezy to just leave and find a simpler road and let the hard one go. But the ones who make it through the fire are the ones who choose to grow.
See, a woman of conviction is not a woman without pain. She's a woman who was chosen to show up in the rain. I have cried more tears than comfort could have ever hoped to hold. I have carried more than people knew and more than I was told was within my range to handle. But the strength inside surprised me. Every valley that I walked through only deepened what defined me. So when they write the chapter on the ones who held the line, know that diamond rose was standing and the victory is mine.
Loyalty is what the real ones are made of.
Loyalty is what the love is made of.
It's what the love is made of. When the world comes crashing down and the walls are falling in,
loyalty
is what survives when everything grows thin.
Loyalty like
Diamond Rose who never walked away.
Loyalty like
every woman who still shows up every day.
to the children, to the family,
to the love that she believes.
loyalty.
This is what the strong one leads.
20 years of watching women carry twice the weight. Why the narrative assign them to a secondary fate? Why the headlines praise the soldiers and the warriors by name? The women raising soldiers were invisible to fame. But I see you in the kitchen at the midnight making sure that the children have a morning that is steady, warm and pure. I see you in the boardroom fighting twice as hard to claim the same respect they hand to men who don't know half the game. I see you in the pew on Sunday holding faith for everyone who was giving up on praying but can't bear to see you done. Diamond Rose and diamonds don't form easy, they form under pressure. And everything you've been through made you into something treasure.
Loyalty is what the real ones are made of.
Loyalty's what the love is made of.
Loyalty is what the love is made of. When the world comes crashing down and the walls are falling in,
Loyalty
is what survives when everything grows thin.
Loyalty
Like Diamond Rose who never walked away.
Loyalty
Like every woman who still shows up every day.
to the children, to the family,
To the love that she believes.
loyalty.
This is what the strong one leads. Diamond Rose.
This song is yours.
Ooh, for every woman who held the door open for someone else's dream. You are the strongest thing I've seen.
They built their kingdoms on the backs of the forgotten. Every throne they ever sat upon was carved from someone's suffering. This is the truth. They never wanted spoken. I've been studying the history of every empire that has stood. Every structure built on injustice in the name of greater good. See, the monuments they glorify were poured in other people's blood. Every palace, every statue, every flag stuck in the mud of the lives they used as mortar for the edifice of power. While the builders went unnamed until this reckoning hour. I am speaking for the nameless ones who built what others claimed. For the workers and the servants and the enslaved and the maimed, who were promised compensation that was never found to come. Who were given broken systems after everything was done. I stand here as the product of 1,000 unnamed backs, and I speak their truth in every verse and every single track. The throne of bones is beautiful until you look beneath, until you lift the marble and you see what lies beneath. Throne of bones, built on the suffering of the law. Throne of bones, every luxury had a cost. They polished all the surfaces and called it civilization, but the bones beneath the beauty tell a different kind of narration. I refuse to sit inside a palace built on pain. I refuse to take the comfort while the builders bear the stain. Throne of bones, I'd rather stand on honest ground and rule a kingdom built on what should never have been found. See, the modern version of the throne is still the same design, just the language of the contract and the currency and sign have been updated for the market of the 21st century, but the architecture underneath is still the same old entry. Point of exploitation in the same mode, looking away from the consequences hidden in the gears that make the day run so smoothly for the few, while the many pay the rate of a system that was never built to make the plan straight. I've been watching politicians shake the hands of the oppressed and go back to the dinner table and ignore the dispossessed. I've been watching corporations post their equity campaigns while the workers at the bottom barely breaking even chains. The throne of bones is still in session, still receiving guests, and the ones who should be loudest are the ones with gilded rests. I call it what it is. Throne of bones. The truth belongs to us, not them. Every empire that was built on someone's pain will fall. Throne of bones cannot outlast the truth of it all. So what's the alternative and where do we go from here when the structures feel too heavy and the way forward unclear? I believe in the rebuilding, I believe in something new, built on principles of dignity and things that can hold true, built on honoring the labor that was never properly paid, built on righting what was broken and releasing what has stayed as the burden of the many for the profit of the few, built on simple human decency. Is that so hard to do? I am not naive, I know the powerful don't give up ground, but I know the tide of history eventually turns around, and the ones who built the thrones upon the suffering of the weak will be judged by every generation that the future holds to speak. I choose to stand on ground that's clean ground that I've earned with truth. Throne of bones may be a palace, but never held the proof. Throne of bones, built on the suffering of the law. Throne of bones, every luxury had a cost. They polished all the surfaces and called it civilization, but the bones beneath the beauty tell a different kind of narration. I refuse to sit inside a palace built on pain. I refuse to take the comfort while the builders bear the stain. Throne of bones, I'd rather stand on honest ground and rule a kingdom built on what should never have been found. I call it what it is. Throne of bones. The truth belongs to us, not them. Every empire that was built on someone's pain will fall. Throne of bones cannot outlast the truth of it all. Name the bones beneath the throne. Every empire built on blood will answer to the ground. Truth always rises.
Letters I never sent, sitting in a drawer. Words I couldn't finish for the ones I was writing for. Every unsaid thing collecting dust inside my chest. Letters I never sent, the ones that said it best. Yeah.
Yeah. Dear old man, I never knew beyond the photograph on the wall, the one where you were young and proud before the summer or the fall. I've been carrying your absence like a stone inside my chest, wondering what you would have said about the man I built from the rest of the broken pieces handed down without a manual or guide. Did you know that boys need fathers like they need the morning tide? I don't write this out of anger, cause the anger long dissolved into something more like sadness for the mystery never solved of who you were beneath the story that the family chose to tell. I just wanna understand the man before the man fell. I forgive you for the leaving even though you never asked. I forgive you for the silence and the shadow that it casts. This letter in my drawer will stay unsigned and never mailed, but I write it for the healing of a wound that never failed, to remind me of the father that I swore I choose to be. Dear old man, this letter is the last one about thee.
The things we leave unsaid have a way of taking space in the chambers of the heart where love should have its place. I've been learning how to say the things before the moment's gone, before the drawer fills up with letters I've been writing all along.
Say
Say it to the living while the living can still hear.
say the hard thing, say the loving thing.
Say what you hold dear. Letters I never sent
belong inside the fire.
Let the words reach who they're meant for.
Yeah.
That's what I desire.
Dear old friend, I watched you go a different way at 23, and I should have said something, but I let the silence speak. I should have called more often, should have driven across the town, should have been the voice that reached you before everything came down. Now you're somewhere I can't follow, in the line between us long, and I practice conversations with a version of your song that still plays in my memory from the years when we were close, when the future felt like something we could almost touch and toast. I know you made your choices and I know I made my own, but the choosing of our separate roads meant choosing to be alone from the friendship that could have lasted, from the bond that could have held. I've been writing you this letter for a decade unfulfilled. One day maybe the words find you across whatever space.
Ooh, letters I never sent, wishing I could see your face. Letters I never sent, sitting in a drawer.
words I couldn't finish for the ones I was writing for. Every unsaid thing collecting dust inside my chest. Letters I never sent, the ones that said it best.
Dear younger me, I wish that I could send you what I know about the past that look like shortcuts and the ones that make you grow. I would tell you that the anger is a signal, not a sword, that the pain beneath the posture needs a different kind of Lord. I would tell you that the people who you push away the hardest are the ones who love you deepest and trying the farthest. I would tell you slow it down and feel the moments as they pass, cause the years begin to blur and you'll be wishing they could last. I would tell you that it's okay to not have it figured out, that the questions are the journey and the journey's what it's about. I would tell you that the scars you're accumulating now will become the greatest wisdom that your future self will vow to pass down to the ones who come behind you on the road. Dear younger me, I love you through the way you always show. Things we leave unsaid have a way of taking space in the chambers of the heart where love should have its place. Yeah, I've been learning how to say the things before the moment's gone, before the drawer fills up with letters I've been writing all along. Say it to the living while the living can still hear. Say the hard thing, say the loving thing, say what you hold dear. Letters I never sent belong inside the fire. Let the words reach who they're meant for. That's what I desire. Empty the drawer tonight. Say what the letters hold for the ones you're writing for are gone from the cold.
Hush now, rest now. The morning can wait. Thug's lullaby. Sleep. Yeah. Hush now, little soldier, lay your weapons down to sleep. The city that was hunting you can wait till morning's creep. Close your eyes and let the sirens fade to background noise. You survived another Tuesday, boy. Resting all that poise, I know the pillow feels like concrete and the dreams are never kind. When the running never stops and even sleep becomes a grind. But tonight you get a moment past the armor in the wall. Lay the hardened version down and let the quiet do its call. See, the world out there will still be waiting when the sun comes back with his judgments and his systems and its never-ending lack. But right here in this moment you are safe and you are whole. Thug's lullaby, a gentle song for your weary soul. Sleep now, soldier, sleep now, fighter, lay your guard aside. The war will be that morning, let the night be where you hide. From the ones who wanna use you, from the ones who want your edge. Sleep now, little warrior, resting on the ledge. Between who you've been forced to be and who you wanna grow. Thug's lullaby, the softest song the hard ones know. Close your eyes and let your mama's voice come through the dark. Thug's lullaby. Sleep now, quiet in your heart. Yeah, let me sing the song they never sang for boys like you and me. The lullaby they skipped cause we were told that we were free of the need for tenderness and comfort, soft and warm. Cause somebody decided that a man must face the storm with his armor always on and his emotions locked away, and his tears reserved for funerals on a cold and distant day. But a boy who never learned to rest becomes a man who breaks under pressure that he carries for his family's sake. Without the tools to lay it down when laying down is right, without the practice of the softness in the deeper night. So I'm singing you this lullaby you never should have missed, in the language of the streets where gentle gets dismissed. Hush now, thug, hush now, soldier, hush now, man of steel. Yeah. Even warriors need sleeping, even
night be where you hide. From the ones who wanna use you, from the ones who want your edge.
Sleep now, little warrior, resting on the ledge.
Between who you've been forced to be and who you wanna grow. Thug's lullaby,
the softest song the hard ones know.
Close your eyes and let your mama's voice come through the dark. Thug's lullaby.
Sleep now,
quiet in your heart.
yeah. Dream of something better. Dream of summers with no fear. Dream of your daughter laughing. Dream of mornings crystal clear. Dream of all the versions of yourself that never had to choose between the dignity of living and the things you had to use to survive in circumstances that no child should ever face. Dream of open fields and futures and a gentler kind of grace. Dream of fathers who stay present. Dream of schools with work and heat. Dream of neighborhoods where children aren't afraid to walk the street. Dream the dream that got deferred by poverty and pain. Dreaming back to life tonight and dreaming once again. To the dreaming builds a blueprint for the building in the day.
Thug's lullaby.
Dream the darkness far away.
Soft now, you can rest your eyes. Soft now, let go of the disguise. Soft now, even soldiers need the night. Thug's lullaby.
Till the morning light, I write this lullaby for every hard man I have known, who was sleeping on the concrete or was sleeping all alone, in the cellar, in the shelter, or in silence with their shame, who deserved a gentle moment just the same as the children in the suburbs with their nightlights burning warm. Every man was once a child before we learned the storm, and the child inside the soldier is still there. It still needs rest, still needs something soft and tender pressed against his chest. So tonight I lay my armor down beside the bedroom door, and I let the quiet take me like it should have done before. When I was young and scared and nobody sang me this
Thug's lullaby.
the song the streets should never miss.
Sleep now, soldier, sleep now. Lay your guard aside. Lay your guard aside. It won't be the morning. Let the night be where you hide. Or from the ones who wanna use you, from the ones who want your edge.
Sleep now, little warrior, resting on the ledge.
Between who you've been forced to be and who you wanna grow. Thug's lullaby.
The softest song the hard ones know.
Close your eyes and let your mama's voice come through the dark. Thug's lullaby.
Sleep now,
quiet in your heart. Hush now, hush now,
rest now. The morning can wait.
Thug's lullaby.
Sleep.
Hush now. Hush now. The morning can wait. Thug's lullaby.
Sleep. When the sky turns red and the wind goes still, that's when you know the reckoning is near. I've been watching the signs for a long time. In the days or in the fear, I've been having these visions in the hours before the dawn of a world where all the structures we depended on are gone, where the laws we wrote in marble turned to dust without a sound, where the highest tower standing came the farthest to the ground. See, the prophets and the preachers been announcing this for years, but we traded in the message for the comfort of our fears. Chose the easy conversation over hard and burning truth. Watch the fire on the mountain while we stay safe in the booth. I don't speak of this as judgment, cause I've been inside the booth. I've been comfortable in silence when I should've spoke the truth. But the end of days is not a punishment from heaven down. It's the natural consequence of building kingdoms on the crown of injustice. In the silence and of chosen looking away, every end of days is made from all the choices of the day. End of days, it starts inside the human heart. End of days, when the conscience falls apart. When we stop caring for the neighbor, when we stop the harder work, when we let the ones below us in the hierarchy lurk. In the darkness without water and without the basic need. In the days it's how a civilization plants its seed of collapse from its own comfort, from its own refusal to see. The end of days is built by me and built by you. But the end of one thing always is the start of something new. From the ashes of the empire grows a thing that can be true. See, the phoenix in the fire is not just a pretty phrase, it's the pattern of the living through the end of days. Every civilization that has fallen left to see, and the people who survived it in the stubborn human need to rebuild, to reconvene, to find the others in the dark, to say I'm still alive here and to kindle one more spark. I've been standing in the rubble of my personal collapse, and I built back something cleaner from the honest, looking back at the structures that were crumbling from the moment I first laid foundations built on ego, where the humblest should have stayed. The end of days for me was just the death of what was false. Now I'm building in the aftermath for something worth the cost. In the days, it starts inside the human heart. In the days when the conscience falls apart, when we stop caring for the neighbor, when we stop the hard work, when we let the ones below us in the hierarchy lurk. In the darkness without water and without the basic need. In the days is how a civilization plants its seed of collapse from its own comfort, from its own refusal to see. The end of days is built by me and built by you. When the fire comes, stand still. When the flood comes, climb higher. When the empire falls around you, be the seed inside the briar. Not the structure that is burning, be the root beneath the ground. In the days for what was hollow, let the truthful things be found. In the days, but not the end of us. In the days, we rebuild from the dust. Every ending holds a seed inside the ash. In the days, the truest things will last. So I'm standing in the orange of the fading empire light, not afraid of what is ending, ready for what comes tonight. Cause the things that should be permanent were never really there, and the things worth keeping forward are the ones built out of care. For the human and the fragile, for the sacred and the small, for the child who needs a morning, for the elder near the wall, for the planet that is breathing underneath our careless weight, for the love that keeps on choosing every morning to be great. And the days is only frightening if you build your house on sand, if you build it on the truth of what you are and where you stand. And the storm becomes a passage, in the ending just a door. In the days it's just the clearing of the space to build some more. In the days, it starts inside the human heart. In the days, when the conscience falls apart, when we stop caring for the neighbor, when we stop the harder work, when we let the ones below us in the hierarchy lurk. In the darkness without water and without the basic need. In the days it's how a civilization plants its seed of collapse from its own comfort, from its own refusal to see. The end of days is built by me and built by you. Beginning of truth, from the ashes we rise into something new. They built the walls to keep you silent, but your voice was always stronger than the stones.
Stand up,
Stand up.
Simone West,
This one is for you.
and every woman who refused to be erased. Yeah, I've been watching women carry mountains on their shoulders for years, while the credit went to others and they swallowed all their tears. In the boardrooms, in the classrooms, in the households, in the streets, where the standard set for women is one nobody meets. Yet they meet it every morning and exceed it every night, and they do it with a grace that makes the doing look like light. I've been raised by women warriors who never got the stage, who deserve a standing ovation for each chapter and each page of the story they were living, while the world looked somewhere else, who put everything they had into the children and not self. Time to say their names out loud and time to speak they do.
Stand up, Simone West.
This song belongs to you.
Let me speak on what it means to stand inside your truth. When the world designed a smaller space before you left your youth, I've been told to be more quiet, I've been told to be more small, I've been told my ambition was was too much for one woman to hold on.
But I held it anyway and built the life they said I couldn't. In the spaces and the places where they said a woman wouldn't. See, my mother was the blueprint and the mother laid the ground. And the mother's mother's mother is the reason I was found. Standing at this microphone with something real to say. Every generation cleared the path that I walk today. So I stand here not for me alone, but for the ones behind. Every woman who was coming up and claiming what is mine, what is ours, what is given, what was earned before they ask it.
Stand up.
Let them see you through whatever they are masking.
Stand up, women. Stand up, daughters. Stand up, queens and mothers too. Stand up, every single woman who refused to see it through. The narrow definition of what someone said you'd be.
Stand up.
Stand up, Simone West. Stand up, and let them see
that the
ones who held the families and the ones who held the line are the ones who hold the future and the ones who hold the shine. Stand up.
Your voice was built
For more than they allow. Stand up.
Speak your name out loud.
Oh, and speak it proud.
Yeah. Heavy little girl who's watching how the women in the world navigate a life that wasn't built for flags. She wants some furrowed. I want her to see Simone standing on the stage tonight. I want her to see a woman who fought through and claimed the light. Every glass ceiling shattered is a sky that opens up. Every door that women kick down is a table with a cup set for the next generation who won't even know the cost of the battles that were fought for every right that almost got lost. So I stand beside Simone because her story is the song of a civilization living on one wing for way too long. When you give half of your people half the room to spread their wings, you lose half of all the beauty and the power that it brings.
Stand up.
The world needs everything you came to give.
Stand up.
Every woman.
Stand up and live. Stand up, women. Stand up, daughters. Stand up, queens and mothers too. Stand up. Every single woman who refused to see it through. The narrow definition of what someone said you'd be.
Stand up.
Stand up, Simone West. Stand up and let them see that the ones who held the families and the ones who held the line are the ones who hold the future and the ones who hold the shine. Stand up.
Your voice was built
For more than they allow. Stand up.
Speak your name out loud.
Ooh, and speak it proud.
Simone West.
Stand tall.
Every woman.
Stand tall.
The world was waiting on your voice.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up. Stand up.
This is my last song. Let it say everything I never had the time to say. If this is my last breath, let it carry every truth I've ever breathed. My last breath will be a prayer for the ones I'm leaving behind. My last breath will be a thank you for the life I was assigned. Through the struggle, through the fire, through the beauty and the pain, my last breath will rise like smoke, never fall as I've been thinking about the ending since the middle of the start. Since the moment I was conscious of the beating of my heart. That this life is borrowed time and every day is something gift. And the only true response to borrowed time is how you lift the ones around you higher than the place you found them at. Whether that's by word or action or by simply having sat with them in their lowest moment when they needed someone near. Just the presence of a person who said I am still here. I've been blessed and I've been broken and I've been both on the same day. I've been lost inside the forest and I found my own pathway. Every chapter had a lesson and I learned them hard and well. Now I'm standing at the closing and I got one last thing to tell. With my last breath, I will say that it was worth the fight. Every morning that I struggled to find daylight past the night. With my last breath, I will say I gave it everything I had. I was human, I was flawed, I was sometimes good and sometimes bad, but I tried to leave the world a little better than I found. I tried to plant some seeds of truth in unforgiving ground. With my last breath, no regrets for what was real. With my last breath, everything I I chose. I want my children to remember that their father stood for truth, even when the truth was costly, even through the days of youth. When the easy road was tempting and the hard road was the right, I chose the hard road every time and faced the morning light. I want my homies to remember that I love them past the silence, past the disagreements in the years and past the distance. Love doesn't always look like calling love, sometimes looks like prayer sent from somewhere in the quiet when I couldn't get out there. I want the strangers who were touched by something in my verse to know I meant it all completely for the better. In the words that a man who bleeds his truth into the music for the world is standing naked on the stage with every flag unfurled. With my last breath I release it, everything I kept inside. With my last breath I lay down the armor and the pride. My last breath will be a prayer for the ones I'm leaving behind. My last breath will be a thank you for the life I was aside. Last breath, through the struggle, through the fire, through the beauty and the pain. Last breath will rise like smoke and never fall. Let the record show I wasn't perfect, let the record show I fell. Let the record show I got back up each time and lived to tell. The story of a man who came from nothing with a word, who refused to be forgotten and refused to be unheard, who loved deeply and imperfectly, who fought hard and who forgave, who believed in something holy from the cradle to the grave. Let the record show he tried to use whatever God him gave, not for ego, not for status, but to light the darker days. With my last breath I am grateful for the ones who walked beside, for the mothers and the fathers, for the ones who were my guide, for the children who became my reason, for the mornings I would rise, for the music that gave meaning to the questions in my eyes. This is not a sad song, this is how a warrior departs, with his chest wide open and his truth inside your heart. With my last breath I will say that it was worth the fight. Every morning that I struggle to find daylight past the night. My last breath I will say I gave it everything I had. I was human, I was flawed, I was sometimes good and sometimes bad, but I tried to leave the world a little better than I found. I tried to plant some seeds of truth in unforgiving ground. With my last breath, no regrets for what was real. My last breath, everything I chose to feel. My last breath rises like the smoke from the fire that never stopped burning, that never stopped burning for something higher. Remember the warrior, remember the name. My last breath was never in vain.